السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد. Today I would like to present immediacy the functions in English translation of the Quran, a linguistic analysis. So this is my title, and here I would like to explain to you about the functions of verb in we know in English there is a grammar, and this grammar shows tenses which shows the time and like time messages to show the present tense, to show the past tense, and as we know future tense. Well, here as introduction, this translation I take from Al Quran Al Karim in terms of English translation from Sahih International. And as we know that this analysis is kind of integration between English and also Al Quran. Here, Al Quran is a holy book for Muslim. So, for the Ummah of Prophet Muhammad, it is important for us as Muslim to know more about the contents, the messages in Al Quran, because this is our holy book. And here I take from the Bentrochia et al. And 2018 stated that the Quran represents the final divine revelation that given or bestowed by our God to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it consists of 114 chapters known as surah, which differ in length. So each surah comprises several verses, refers to ayah totaling 6,243 verses and approximately 77 430 words. So from this perspective that this saying shows that Al Quran is very complex, and it is a revelation that our as a Muslim, we have to know more about Al Quran in a very complex and details. And Spawi here, I stated this statement from Spawi 2019. He wrote in he researched that Al Quran is not a storybook. Yeah, as you know that Al Quran is not a story. Al Quran is not a kind of literature, but it is a guidance or a lesson for mankind that is presented in story. Means that most of the content in Al Quran Al Karim consisting story. Um, most of them. Okay, actually there is law about Sharia, about laws and about prohibition, comments, and yeah, something like that. But most of them related to story. This what our God stated in His saying, "أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وكلا نقص عليك من أنباء الرسل ما نثبت به فؤادك." So, by this verse, it is important for us to listen, to see, and to read the story of the past event, especially about the story of prophets that Allah has told in the Quran. And what is the purpose? The purpose is in order make our heart uh, istiqamah in what is that in our religion, in worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is important for us as a Muslim. Okay, and here I from Ahsan 2012 observed that over the past 14 countries, no tech has been widely read as influential in shaping human thought as the Quran. So Quran is very influential, and it has many effects, positive effects for the human being. Its content transcends specific themes, literary styles encompassing the fundamental principles that underpin the entire system of life. So, by this definition, Ahsan stated that Quran, okay, gives us many important aspects in our life. And then Safi highlighted the Quran distinctive approach to narrating history, noting that by recounting the stories of humanity from its very inception, the Quran serves a significant source of understanding of the history of human existence. So, by this saying, Safi wanted to, what is that? To say that by presenting history in the Quran, it is significant for us to know more about the past events, past history, what we know about Moses, Prophet Moses, what we know about Ibrahim and others. So, by narrating the sentences, by narrating the story, the readers may understand more about the uh, Quran messages. Next, furthermore, Quran consists stories in the past. The remains are laws, commands, prohibition, etc. This research focuses on how the grammatical science work. Okay, let's come to the focus on my research. Actually, my research uh, focuses on the grammatical science. So this integration of English grammatical science that occur in the Quran. So this is seen as important. What is that relationship that we know about the connection between revelation and human productivity? We know that grammatical science now is seen as a set of rules. When we are studying English, when we are learning a language, we know grammar that it is a rules, just rules that we know to set the language, but rather than it is as a goal oriented. So science in a language is not only as a grammatical aspect, but it is a what is that consisting of purposes, consisting of goals that you have to know. So this study is aimed at analyzing texts in English translation of Al Quran based on Columbia School to investigate the verb functions and to know the low and high immediacy of messages. Moreover, this utilizes Science International Translation as the main research source. So this study, uh, the purpose of this study is analyzing the text, the English text of the translation of Quran in English based on the Columbia School. The Columbia School is introduced by Willis Reid, and it is kind of approach uh, to what is that introduce the science in terms of grammatical science and also the lexical science in the language. And um, here it is analyzing the functions. The functions of verb means that the time messages, which one showing the present, which one is showing the past tense, uh, and also it's introducing or showing the low and high immediacy. Means low is related to the past event, and high is connected to present events. So it's called high messages. Okay, next. Uh, Continue. Learning English as a second language is quite challenging for many learners. It's because of its first language may interfere the process of acquisition, especially about tenses or time messages. So quatrain here emphasizes that each language possesses distinct set of rules and features exclusive to that particular language, including its grammatical structures. So here, the purpose of this research actually, uh, what is that? To know the the tenses use, the tenses occurrence in a text, especially in English text, because many learners are difficult to differentiate between present tense and also past tense and also future, for example. And um, furthermore, this is aimed at analyzing the time messages or the immediacy messages in the text. Okay, continue. Fitria and Mulyasari, 2022, argue that grammar instruction is an integral component of English language teaching and cannot be separated from the overall learning process. So, in terms of education or teaching, uh, grammar is very significant. It is essential to be integrated in learning in English studies because it is what is that in the language itself. So it is essential, cannot be separated from the learning. Fitria Emulia Sari 2022. And then Ali and his friends 2021 found that most of the teachers only focus on rules of the grammar rather than its application connected with real life. This, however, becomes the teacher's homework to depict grammar to students, especially tenses, as easy as possible. So, in their research, um, they found that grammar, okay, is explained solely about the language in the theoretical aspect of the grammar. So grammar here is not explained more in real life. How do we connect to our daily use? For example, when the teacher teach grammar in the class, it is essential for them to not only take from the book, so not only take from the source of the materials, but they have to connect and integrate grammar explanation with the daily aspect of the students. For example, the student uh, are asked about what do you do every day. So the example of the grammar should be integrated to the activity of the students. What do you do every day? What did you do last night? What will you do tomorrow? That's just example. So the students know know more about the examples, and it's very clear for them to what is that to differentiate the meaning and also the real example of their uh, daily use. Then here we take from the saying of Ali et al. And his friends 2013 conducted research on past tense faced by Kurdish students. The result of their study was evidence that Kurdish learners got difficulties in using past forms in their writing. They merely know past tense but didn't use any other past forms. They was inherently affected by their mother tongue and interlingual factors. So some studies also show that the use of past tense is very difficult. Past tense that shows the past event is very difficult for the Kurdish students. Uh, it is explained in their research that it is interfered or influenced by the first language or the mother tongue of the Kurdish students. So here is the task and the responsibility for the teachers of English to explain more details about the past use, the tenses of past tense, the varieties, the kinds of past tense in English in a very details, and it must be connected to real life. Okay, and then Hashim 2018 proposed a research on verbs that show factuality messages in both English and Malay texts. She comes to the conclusion that both use inflections and auxiliaries to implement factuality messages. However, there is a few research on the Quranic translation based on. Okay, uh, in her research, here is from Hashim. Okay, her research shows that both Malay and English texts use what is that inflections or auxiliaries to show the time messages, to show the tenses. Okay, for example, like to show the past tense in English, we use did. For example, we didn't eat yesterday. This is for English. For Malay, kita uh, belum atau kita tidak telah makan. So the use of word telah is showing the past tense, and the use of word did is showing the past tense in English. So uh, this research gives us what is that highlights that each language has different terms, but the purpose is the same. It is showing the message, showing the time messages. Okay, then here my method, I use Columbia School Linguistics. Let's come to this method. Okay, Columbia School Linguistics, it is introduced by Wallace Reid. Okay, he said that language is not seen as set of rules. What is termed by grammar? What's it is we know as a grammar in English, but it is goal oriented. So in semantics, because this area of research is semantics aspect, language is not seen as of grammar only, but it has what is that the goal or the purpose of the sign. So the theory highlights this theory of Wallace Reid. Language is sign in which is has a certain meaning when it is conveyed by the speaker or writer. So sign is the smallest unit of language. It has a meaning. It's not only kind of structures of grammar, but it has oriented goal that the speaker or writer wants. So right here, he divided the sign into two parts. The first is grammatical signs. Grammatical signs, they are like inflections, for example, ed for using or showing the past tense, or n as a suffix that is added in the last, in the final of word, and yeah, and such kind of what is that, inflections. The next is auxiliary verbs. It can be exemplified like will. The use of will shows the future, and should or is gathered with the verb. So this is auxiliaries. It's kind of grammatical science. So my focus is here. My focus of research is in grammatical science. Okay, so here the signs are used to convey the time messages, uh, which is high or low. High means present, and low is past. Okay, past tense. The second, okay, sign based on Wallis rate is lexical sign. Okay, lexical signs, they are related to the word that has many meanings, more than one meaning based on the context. Here, the example is like the word drive. So the word drive can be used in any context based on the usage. Like if we drive a car, means that we use the car. We are in the car and we drive. This is the context that we go, we travel. But drive can be interpreted, can be okay, showing other meanings. So based on the context. So this is called as lexical science. That we say in Al Quran, like the word daraba. The word daraba has many meanings, so it is used based on different situation, different circumstances. So it is lexical science. So in theory of Wallis rate, okay, sign, there are two signs. There are two kinds of signs. First is grammatical meanings, that is related to okay, auxiliaries and inflections, and the second is lexical meaning, that is conveyed in different okay, contexts. It is used in based on the context. Okay, continue. So here in my research, the data were culled from Al Quran English translation texts. The name of the Quran means the English translation is Sahih International. So I believe that this is a reliable source of this study, because actually I have consulted to one of the expert in Quran as Sunnah was Sunnah, and he said that yeah, it's kind of integrative research. It's kind of what is that, relationship between English and also English studies and also Al Quran. So it's legalized by Al Muntada Al Islami and translated by Sahih International in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. After the research, he collected the data. He classified the verses in some tables. So it's called a immediacy verb table. One verse might have more than one sentences. Therefore, the one sentence is put in one table. So in this research, I use or I take five verses, and the verses are spread in different surahs. Okay, so five verses, and one verse may contain okay, more than one sentences. In the next step, the researcher further investigated the inflections and auxiliaries of the verb form. So Here, after I collected the data, I put the sentences in the table, and then I classify the, the sentence in one table, one sentence in one table. Uh, so I find the what is that the inflections and auxiliaries showing the time usages or the tenses, which is past tense or present tense, or also ambiguity. Ambiguity is related to okay the tenses that use will, that use should, like auxiliary. And then the verbs are included. Ambiguity calibration is related to modality. So ambiguity here is related to modality, related to use of will, should, shall, would, and something like that. Okay, continue. So findings. Let's come to the findings. Okay, here based on the what I want to find here, the finding is yeah. Firstly, I want to find the analysis of the verbs first, and the second is I want to know how the verbs constructed within the text. So, firstly, the analysis is actually presented in the appendix, but in this section, I would like to okay explain to you from the first surah that I take, that's Surah Al-Baqarah, um, and then Surah Ali Imran, and then the third is Surah An-Nisa, and the fourth is Surah Al-Ma'idah, and the fifth is Surah Al-An'am. So I take five verses in each surah. Okay, let's come to finding. Here, the analysis, table 1, the analysis of immediacy verb functions in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 55 until 59. So I can give you okay the finding here in table number 1, the verse okay, and recall when you say it. So in this sentence, okay, there is a grammatical sign. That is, yeah, of course, the word said. Said here is showing past tense. So I categorize this word said because this shows past tense into past, low immediacy, past message in past. So I give mark AD. So this means by grammatical sign or time messages. And then let's move to the second number. The sentence almost is it's the continuity, continue from the okay from the first sentence. Almost says we will never believe you. So there is a grammatical sign here. The grammatical sign is the word well will never. As I said before, that will or modality is uh, categorized into ambiguity. In ambiguity, will and plus verb 1. So this is ambiguity. Let's see ambiguity using mark will and verb 1. Okay, continue to table number 3 until we see Allah outright. So here there is a grammatical sign. We can see until we see Allah. So the word see is categorized as high immediacy non-past message. Non-past. So means non-past is present. The word do is the same as see. So this linguistic uniqueness means the linguistics exchange from the first, okay, uh, sentence using past, okay, ed, and the second sentence is using ambiguity, and the third sentence is using present tense or non-past. So this means that Al-Quran uses, what is that, linguistic changes in one topic. So this topic here is about the ummah, about the people of Moses, of Prophet Moses, when they said, "A'udhu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa idh qultum ya Musa lan nu'mina laka hatta narallaha jahra ila akhirih." So, wa idh qultum here, or in English, when you said, and when you said is past tense, but then move to future, and then change to present tense. So, uh, here it's, what is that, the concept of nowness. So we can see when the people of Moses said to Moses, "Oh Moses, we will never believe you until we see Allah outright." So this story is was happening in the past, but the sentence or the tenses uses present, means that, okay, in Al-Quran it is important and essential for the readers about the concept of nowness. So the readers are as if, okay, come to the story. When we read the story in the past, but the readers are as if, what is that, in the story. It's using the concept of nowness. So our what we know in, okay, grammatical, Arabic grammatical uh, knowledge, it's called is hikayah. Al-hikayah is explained in Alfiya ibn Malik book, Islamic book. So when we tell about the something in the past, but uh, we change the linguistic past tense into present tense, means to, what is that, to bring the readers, to bring the hearers into now, into nowness. Okay. So here in this slide, I have concluded. We see total for the non-past before, as here is present perfect, is only one, means 3.5%, and for non-past, for present tense is 27, okay, 0.6%, and past before is, okay, 3.5%, and past is 48.3%, and ambiguity is 17.3%. So here we can see very clearly that, okay, uh, sentences that uses past is highest, 48.3%, and then it is, okay, connected to the non-past or present tense is 27, means that there is a linguistics exchange from the past into present in this story, in this verses, in this verse. So here, as we conclude that the story of Al-Quran brings the readers, bring uh, the people who read the Quran, okay, as if they, okay, in the story. So it's the concept of nowness, and this is the example of the finding. and see next slide. This is the analysis of immediacy, and also in Surah Al Imran. So this is the same. Uh, okay, in short explanation, the past is 44%, and also the non-past is 36%. So it's just the conclusion. Means that there is a linguistic exchange from the past into present tense. Yeah, and then like we see number one, mention of Muhammad when the wife of Imran said. So this is the first sentence. There is a lexical sign here in this sentence is the word said. So word said is categorized as a past, AD. Let's move to the second sentence. My Lord, indeed I have pledged to you. So this is what is that? Have pledged is like lexical signs is the present perfect. So I put have and verb 3, and number 3 is what is in my one. Consecrated for your service. So this is the third lexical signs is and ed. Is and ed is related to present tense. And then we know so accept this from me. This is also present tense. Do accept, the word accept. And number 5, for example, indeed you are the hearing, the knowing. So use the word you, and also be and ing is also categorized as the present tense. So here there is changes. There is a change from the past ed into non-past before present perfect, and then non-past, non-past, and non-past. So this is clear that the story in the Quran always bring the readers from the past event into the present as if it is in present. So the linguistic science so that. So from the low immediacy means the past, low immediacy, into the high immediacy. High immediacy is present tense. So this is the same for the next finding. We know that in the past here in Surah Al-Nisa, the past is 20.9%, and also the present is 37.5%. So there is a linguistic change. And the next table is also the same in Surah Al-Ma'idah. Okay, there is a linguistic change from the past into present. So we know the percentage. And then the last table is immediacy for functions in Surah Al-An'am. Okay, there is a linguistic change. The percentage in the low immediacy past is 50%, and then the high immediacy here is 39.3%. So there is what is that? Moving occurrence of linguistic aspect from the sign of past into present tense. So we know that here the conclusion, I take 5 surah. I take 5 surah, and each surah there are 5 verses. First is the story is related to the statement of Prophet Moses' people. We know that the verses from 55 until 59 about the immediacy time here, high immediacy, non-past before 3.5%, non-past is 27.6%, and low immediacy here past before 3.5%, And for past here, 48.3%, ambiguity is 17.3%. So here it's clear that past is the highest uh, grammatical science that is used in the story, and then move into the second highest grammatical science that is in non-past or present. So there is linguistic change from the past into non-past in the story of the statement of Prophet Moses people. Uh, as I said before, the people said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. And then the second is Ali Imran, the saying of Imran's wife. Yeah, it's clear that there is a linguistic change from the past into non-past. So this is the concept of nouns. وإذ قال أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قالت امرأة عمران رب إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا. So there is a linguistic change also. And then here in Surah An-Nisa, Allah is saying about this revelation towards some people, prophet before Prophet Muhammad. Also there is a linguistic change. Also the same as Surah Al-Ma'idah and Surah Al-An'am. That's the last table. So here I conclude that it's clear that immediacy verb functions of past events in Al-Quran English translation text, okay, from the Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, and Surah Al-An'am, and Surah Al-Nisa, mostly utilize the low immediacy of past forms or the grammatical signs of past using inflections and so auxiliary. And then it uses high immediacy of present forms to generate the closeness. So the closeness and nowness of the reading, okay, so the readers can read the Quran, read the story, the history, as if they come to the story. So this is the closeness, this is the nowness of the Quran. So this way of switching from past to present is a unique style of language, and it semantically gives a certain goal. One of the goals of present here is what is that? Immediate means that the present use in the story, the present forms is immediate, is immediacy. So the time that is in present. So this is kind of a lens of linguistics aspects that I try to find in the Quran English translation texts. So perhaps this is what is that important for us to read the Quran in the perspective of linguistics analysis. So thank you very much. This is my presentation, and shukran jazila. Thank you very much. May this give you okay, a bit knowledge about linguistic analysis in the English translation text in Quran. Okay, so I close this presentation by using the statement of Allah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها. So it means that Allah has taught Prophet Adam many things, many names, all names. So this means that people can acquire language, actually can acquire many things, knowledge, including language. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.